Hello and welcome back to my channel. Game week 25 is still going on and I'm very relieved about this because I'm currently on a red arrow, but in this video I want to talk about how my game week is going so far and also my transfer plans for the upcoming game week. So let's get straight into it. This is the team. We are currently on 56 points. I've only dropped 20,000 places, so it's not the end of the world. We're at 380,000, still within the top 400k, getting slowly away from top 100, but hopefully we will make it back in the next couple of fixtures. Overall points currently stand at 1,477. I've got one free transfer because I did use my 2 free transfers last game week and I took a hit, and I've got 1.5 million in the bank. So let's look at my defence. Areola outscored Dubravka, which on this channel is all I care about. That extra point means a lot to me. And then Ake, unfortunately, City have conceded. So seeing as I've got Tony, and I brought Tony in for a -4 hit, we will get to that shortly, I'm not holding out hope for Ake to keep a clean sheet, but if he could get an assist or something, that would be very, very welcome in the team. And then Saliba, another clean sheet. I'm really, really happy. Arsenal are just absolutely on fire, scoring goals, keeping clean sheets. I was a bit sceptical about people that had double Arsenal defence because I don't really like to put all my eggs in one basket, which is ironic when I have double Newcastle defence and they are the worst defence in the league. But hats off to you if you have gone for that Gabriel Saliba combination. It's really, really paying off, especially the last couple of weeks. And then Trippier, as touched on, Newcastle's defence is shocking. So as much as I am relying on him for attacking returns, I don't know whether he's worth the money, and he's probably one I'm going to be looking at transferring out when I do my wild card. And then in the midfield, unfortunately, nothing for Charlison. Foden, we got 2 points so far, and I'm looking forward to being a Foden owner, and when he has a massive haul, hopefully that does come against Brentford. And then Saka is just 10 out of 10, exquisite. Love the player so much. He will be staying forever in my team. And then Gordon, turns out he's on penalties, which is a fantastic development for my team. We weren't really sure who was going to be taking penalties for Newcastle. Turns out it's Gordon. Turns out he's very good at them. So I got 8 points from him this week. And then Tony, I took out Solanke for a -4 and brought in Tony, which is yet to pay off. However, Tony did score a goal, which is good, but he needs to do a bit more to match Solanke's, I think, a goal, an assist, and 3 bonus points. But I have a real love-hate relationship with Solanke where I just seem to transfer him out at the wrong time. But I really like Ivan Toney, so I think that was my fun punt for a couple of game weeks. Hopefully he will have a massive haul against City. And then Darwin, he started off so strong and then he got taken off. So we only got 5 points from him. I'm hoping he's okay for the Luton home fixture that's coming up because I can see him doing really well in that one. And especially if Salah is out. We will also get onto a Salah update later on in this video. And then Haaland, the triple captain, nightmare. 6 points from my triple captain. I mean, basically everyone is in the same boat. I'm sure we are all hoping for a massive haul against Brentford. Without Pinnock in the team, defensively Brentford just look very, very shoddy. So I think that bodes quite well for City, and I'm really hoping that there is a Haaland hat-trick in there to make up for the lack of performance, should we say, against Chelsea. But that is also silver lining. I didn't watch the game because I thought Chelsea were going to get annihilated. And the fact that it was a 1-1 draw just feels like such a win as a Chelsea fan. So whilst I am a bit disheartened about the triple captaincy, it's kind of, on a personal level, quite nice. And then my bench. I got so lucky with my benching decisions this game week. Estupiñán, I think on paper I should have played him. He was playing Sheffield United. I was really umming and ahhing about it right up until the deadline. Decided that Ake, Saliba and Trippier were much, much stronger, so I went for them instead, and I'm so glad I did. Estupiñán was obviously benched. He came on for a bit, but didn't do anything, so only got 1 point. And then, I mean, there's not much in it between Trippier and Estupiñán, but considering the minutes, there were more opportunities, should we say, for Trippier. And then Palmer, benching him as well. I was not feeling confident about that, but luckily he only came away with 2 points from the City game. So we've become fortunate, I think, and I don't know whether my luck's going to run out now with benching, but I will take it this week. So let's have a look at what my transfer plans are for the upcoming game week. So this could all change. I'm recording this on Monday evening and there's a lot that can happen between now and the next deadline on Saturday. But as it stands, I'm looking to transfer out Darwin. Obviously, Liverpool are blanking this game week, and I think it's a nice time to just remove him from the team. As much as he has really improved since I've owned him, it's quite stressful owning Darwin. And if you're a Darwin owner and you've been there for a couple of game weeks, you'll completely understand what I'm talking about. So I'm a little bit done with him, and I'd like to bring in some fresh meat, should we say. So if you're looking at my transfers, yes, this is a bit of a backward step because obviously I only just got rid of Solanke, and I only got rid of Watkins, I think 2 game weeks ago. But there was method behind the madness-ish because I did want to take the punt on Tony, especially with the double game week. And obviously I did the transfer Watkins to Haaland, which I do not regret whatsoever. But we'll start off with Solanke. So 6.9 million, his ownership's at 19%. And the upcoming fixtures look pretty good. Game week 26, we've got Man City at home. Obviously, this is a difficult fixture, but if Solanke is finding that rhythm, he's getting up there and he's scoring goals. I think City, we've seen, aren't like fully solid defensively, so I can see him maybe getting a goal here or there. But I'm not in a massive rush to get him from game week 26. Game week 27, however, Burnley away, and then game week 28 goes into the double, which is Sheffield United and Luton, both home fixtures. They are too good to avoid. Now, my love-hate relationship with Solanke comes from me transferring him in and out at the complete wrong times. I transferred him out when Bournemouth had a blank in game week 17, and then he hauled against Forest in game week 18 with a massive 17-pointer, which was so painful to watch. I eventually brought him back in, and he'd been a bit flat. And then I transferred him out just before Newcastle, where he got 12 points thanks to 1 goal, 1 assist and 3 bonus points. So Tony does have a bit of work to do for me tomorrow to help me break even. I was really judging Bournemouth's recent form because they hadn't won a game since Fulham in game week 19, but I think I massively overestimated Newcastle's defence. I think I was probably a bit more optimistic about their defence as well, seeing as I do have 2 Newcastle defensive assets, which saying it out loud just feels so silly now. But Solanke is one. I cannot not have him for that double in game week 28 and again that Burnley fixture. So I think maybe he's not a priority transfer for this game week, but the following one he will definitely be coming into my team. And this is also one of those times where it's hindsight, isn't it? But in terms of captaincy, if someone was asking me about captaincy, I said kind of Haaland was the one to go for, play it safe. He's got the highest ceiling. Yes, the fixtures are difficult, but it's Haaland. And now I think Sheffield United and Luton at home. You can't ask for better fixtures. So we'll see how Solanke gets on, but I will be captaining him that week. I won't have the triple captaincy chip to use, but I'm quite excited to get him back and hopefully enjoy him actually having a haul. And then we've got Ollie Watkins, one of my favourite players last season and this season. I transferred him out, obviously, to afford Haaland. He's 8.7 million and his ownership is at a massive 49%. Not having him this game week really, really damaged me. I've gone without him for 2 game weeks now. I was fine against Man United and I was feeling a little bit smug, I won't lie. And then I got absolutely punished when he got 2 goals and 2 bonus points against Fulham. But he is definitely a player that I want back ASAP. Game week 26, he's got Nottingham Forest and it's a home fixture. Then we've got Luton away and then Spurs at home. He's very likely to be the one that comes back into my team. He's going to be my priority transfer now. I made my transfers last week with Watkins in mind. I made sure that if I brought in Tony, I could still afford to do Darwin to Watkins. And I'm pleased to say, people, you can sleep easy tonight because I can afford to do it. But I've been raving about him for ages, about how consistent he is. And it's for good reason. He's had 13 goals and 14 assists so far this season. So no wonder the ownership has just absolutely flown up. But I think Ollie Watkins is probably the one. It's going to be the safest bet. Bring him into my team and just leave him there for the foreseeable. And then we have got Hwang, who is a very, very exciting pick. Ownership's only at 9.9% at the time of recording. He's 7.2 million. Upcoming fixtures, Fulham at home, very nice one. Man City away, bit more tricky. And then we go into Everton at home. But he has been on, I think, a lot of people's radars in the last couple of game weeks. He's returned in the past 5 game weeks, getting 48 points in that time. He's had 7 goals and 2 assists this season, all since game week 19. So his ownership is still relatively low, but even so, I think that is just slowly going to climb up. And also, Man United are looking so much better as a team. They've won their past 4 fixtures. And I think they're just going to keep building on that. And especially Fulham home fixture, there's definitely going to be goals in there. And if Hwang is going in there with the intention of scoring and keeping up this streak, he could be such a good asset to help you boost up the ranks. Unfortunately, as much as I really do want to go for him, I don't know if there's necessarily the space in my team to do so. So I think the short-term transfer plan for the next 2 game weeks will be Darwin out for Watkins, and then the following game week, unfortunately, I'll have to take out Tony for Solanke because those fixtures are just too good to avoid. But I might end up bringing Tony back for game week 29, so we're going to have a bit of toing and froing with the same players. But there are also 2 other players that have caught my eye, but they're midfielders. And of course, that is Hwang and Neto. Now, there's quite a bit in it between them, but I'm in a real dilemma about the 2 of them. So we'll start off with Hwang. He was away at the Asian Cup, so he missed out on a couple of fixtures, but he is now back. His ownership's at 3.5%, and he's 5.5 million. He's had 10 goals and 3 assists this season, with an XG of 6.18 and an expected goal involvement of 8.55. He is one that really, really caught my eye before he went off on international duty, and I've been kind of looking for a way to bring him back into my team. And I think if I want to really attack this game week, that Sheffield United home fixture is one that just to go for. And then they also go into Newcastle away, Newcastle defensively. Less said about it, the better, but I think they can really capitalise on it. Then they've got Fulham at home, then potentially Bournemouth at home, depending on what happens, or it might be a blank game week. So that is the risk with going for either of the Wolves players. I may not have a fixture in game week 29, so it might be better. Although, to be fair, I could attack short term, and then that's future Eleanor's problem. So we'll see. And then we've got Neto, one of the most disappointing assets last season. But this season, he has been so incredibly good. He's had 2 goals and 11 assists. He's got an expected goal involvement of 6.54, which is less than Hwang, whose is, I think, 8.55. Check the FPL website, pretty sure. But his ownership's just slightly higher at 3.8%, and he is a little bit more expensive at 5.7 million. He seems to be involved in every single attack, and I think there's maybe more consistency there with him, that he will be more likely to get those assists. But I think the fact that Hwang is on penalties makes me kind of lean towards him a little bit more. Plus he's 0.2 million. And at the moment, there are so many transfers that I'm doing and I realise I'm 0.1 out. So that could really help me along the way. So that is my dilemma for this game week. Do I attack it and take a -4 and take out someone in my midfield? Not sure. Looking at my team now, maybe might have to be Palmer that goes out. I'm haven't sold myself on that. But take out a blanking player this game week and then just attack it and bring in that Wolves midfielder. If you think I should, do let me know in the comments which one you would go for. Like I said, I think Hwang slightly edges it for me just because he is on penalties. But let me know in the comments because that's my current team dilemma. And then if we're talking about midfielders, I feel like we have to discuss the fact that Salah is back and he came back with a bang. There's some pros, there's some cons. Am I kicking myself about not transferring him in? I'm not, because I would have had to destroy my team. And I think long term, it probably wouldn't have paid off. So if we discuss the pros with Salah, he returned to the squad, which was nice. He's already had 2 attacking returns, so he is obviously back there. And he's got very, very low ownership, which is crazy considering his salary. He's just the king of FPL. But the cons are, he's not 100% fit. Obviously, he came on early. He came on just before half-time, I think, because Jota went off. But it turns out he has now got an injury. His old injury has flared up again. He's got the blank in game week 26 and a possible blank in game week 29. The fact that Salah's not 100% fit makes me think that they're not going to take any risks, especially when Jota's had his scan at the weekend. They took Darwin off due to a minor issue, obviously precautionary measure. They've had Trent out injured. I think there's too much at stake. And especially with the cup final against Chelsea coming up, I think he's most likely to be rested against Luton. And then obviously blanking game week 26. I think a lot of FPL managers aren't aware that they're blanking game week 26 because I think he's the highest, most transferred in player this game week. But then we've got game week 27, Nottingham Forest away, game week 28, Man City at home, and then a potential blank in game week 29. So there is an argument to bring him in for that game week 27 fixture and then just have him and suck up the fact that he's not going to be playing in 29. But for me personally, I think it's too much money to just have 2 blanks coming up. So I'm going to wait on it, and I think game week 30 will be the time that I go for Salah. But if you are considering bringing him in, let me know. Let me know what the plan is, because I've got such a fear of missing out when it comes to Salah, and he is just the FPL asset, isn't he? Him and Haaland and Kane back in the day, they're just the 3 that you wanted. And now Salah's back, part of me thinks, oh, maybe I should just have him. But we're going to wait until at least game week 26 is over, reconsider in 27, obviously see how his fitness is. But I think as it stands, we're looking at game week 30. So that takes me to my team planning for the game week and where I am, well, where my mind's at currently. luckily, a lot of the decisions have been made for me because of the blank that is happening this game week. So I've got a very, very heavy defence, and this is where I think there is an argument to be made to bring in a Wolves attacker, because I don't really like going 4 at the back. I think it's too much, too many risks of losing clean sheets. I've got Areola in goal, obviously, for Brentford, but I say obviously, I do own Tony, so there's a little conflict of interest there, but there is no way I'm playing Dubravka against Arsenal considering the current form they're in. They'll score about 5 goals. And then we've got Saliba, he's definitely starting for me. Trippier, Arsenal away, tricky fixture, but hopefully maybe some attacking returns. Ake for Bournemouth, and then Estupiñán for Everton at home. If I do bring in the Wolves attacker, I think my benching decision will be between Trippier and Estupiñán. Estupiñán, I just wish that we were guaranteed he was going to get a lot of minutes, but if he's not starting, there's no point going there, is there? But probably not going to find out any more information about whether or not he's going to be playing for the full 90. So I think at the moment we're probably going to have to bench Estupiñán if I do bring in that Wolves player. Unfortunately, Pinnock is injured and he is out, which is really disappointing and obviously massively affecting Brentford's performance. But that was going to be quite an easy player I was going to go for West Ham United away. West Ham, again, haven't really been looking their strongest. So I felt quite comfortable playing Pinnock for once, but unfortunately it is not to be. And then my midfield, we've got Gordon, Arsenal away. Another one I'm a little bit nervous about because Gordon's away form is nowhere near as good as his home form. So I'm not really expecting massive things from him, but we'll keep our fingers crossed. And just, I'm grateful that I can get out a starting 10, to be honest. Foden, fine for that, Bournemouth away. Saka, Newcastle at home. Considering the run that he has been on and against Newcastle's defence, I think he's going to go crazy in this fixture. So very excited for that. Darwin will become Ollie Watkins. He's welcomed back into the team. And then we've got Tony, West Ham away. Again, considering how West Ham have been playing at the moment, I think this is one that Tony can really capitalise on, and I'm excited, and I hope it makes up for taking out Solanke. And then we've got Haaland, Bournemouth away. That is my captaincy at the moment. I am a little bit tempted to go for Saka captaincy. The last time I captained Saka, it didn't go well, but the last couple of game weeks, if we have a look here, 2 15-pointers, 9 points, and then 10 points. He's really, really finding his flow. And I think Newcastle, they've been destroyed recently. So I could be tempted to go for Saka for captain. Obviously, we're on the vice at the moment. Between Haaland and Saka, but this could change between now and my final team selection video. But that's what I'm thinking currently. So thank you so much for watching. This was quite a waffly video. There's quite a lot to get out, but I appreciate if you've stuck to the end. And if you have and you haven't subscribed, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and leave me a comment down below with how you're getting on for the game week. I will be uploading some more videos later on this week. I can't remember my schedule. So subscribe so you don't miss them, and I will see you then. Bye guys.